federal government has allocated 500 million naira to empower women interested in leather goods and footwear manufacturing. Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, announced on Monday, stating that the initiative was part of discussions at the Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by President Bola Tinubu. Providing further details on the policy, Suleiman Ibrahim explains that the approval grants the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology the mandate to supply starter parts for leather and footwear manufacturing, a sector in which women play a crucial role. She described the initiative as exciting for women as it encourages their participation in an industry with significant potential for economic growth. According to the minister, the intervention will not only empower women entrepreneurs, but also contribute to Nigeria's gross domestic products. This is one out of many empowerment we have had. We've heard of youth empowerment, women empowerment, adult empowerment, and what have you empowered?
Children empowerment.
Yeah, all of the empowerment. But the question would be, is this supposed to be for the northern or the whole Nigerians? Because if we have to go down to the story, she also talked about the price and Ramadan and all of that. Is this women empowerment supposed to be for a segregated kind of different kind of people, or for the whole Nigerians? Because talk about the women in the rural areas. How do they benefit from it? The urban area women, the women in the south, how do they benefit from this? Is it supposed to be for a particular region of the country? Well, I really don't know how to say more about this. I would love to get your thoughts on this. If we're supposed to work on this as a good one.
Well, it's like you said, it's not the first time that we are hearing of empowerment, whereas we don't have the infrastructure, in place that would drive ideas like this. I personally, I am an advocate for artisanship, skills, and manufacturing. These are key factors that project and drive industrialization. We can even become a nation that exports footwears. Yeah. If we have a system that is keenly interested in advancing industrialization, 500 million to empower women. I'm not really too concerned about the region. It's even, for me, it's a drop in the ocean. We have a lot of cities. Go to Aba, for instance. Go to Onitsha, for instance. Even in Port Harcourt, there are people with this set of skills. But they don't have that enabling environment. It's not enough to begin to share money to people by saying that, you're empowering them to go into footwear production. Do we have the enabling facilities that will make it easy for these people to grow fast in their craft? We're talking about power, for instance. Currently, as we speak, I really do not understand the way the power situation is dwindling drastically. Even in the face of the hike in electricity tariff and all of that, you don't even get to see the power.
Yeah.
There is no manufacturing activities or activity that you want to go into today that you will not put power in the front burner. So when you give somebody, for instance, 500,000, because 500 million, if you want to share it amongst these people, I'm sure one person won't get more than 500,000. That was even on the high side. So would that money be enough to set up, get the raw materials, and begin to, you know, embark on production activities, large scale, even small scale, without the enabling facility to make it easy. You know, we keep talking about ease of doing business. You don't put the cart before the horse. It has to be put on the reverse side. Otherwise, it's as though we just want to make some of these statements to mesmerize members of the public or the show for the optics. Let us show sincerity of purpose and intention as a people. State governors, local government chairmen can equally invest in this kind of venture. It's a fantastic idea, a welcome development. But the question is it done out of genuine sincerity of purpose and intention?
And then the other
question, that is the issue.
Other question would be, how many Nigerians patronize Nigerian-made footwear?
Because
how many of us have decided to, okay, because you go to the marketplace, you barely see Nigerians that want to patronize the Nigerian-made footwear or Nigerian-made things, most commodities made in Nigeria, because they do not see the authenticity in it. And then the other thing, like I stated, this is one out of many empowerment stories we've had, and eventually the story comes and then it's swept under the carpet, and someone would say it's another means to get what they want, if you may ask me. It's not just about empowering those women. What's necessary things have been put in place, like you stated. You know, after the empowerment, what next? Is it for them to just go back home and sleep, or do they provide the materials for them to further these skills that they have achieved? And for how long is the government supposed to empower them? Because empowerment is not something you just say, okay, come and learn something for 1 month, for 3 months, and then go back to your home and sort out yourself. That kind of thing. It's something that you have to follow up until you're sure that those people are personally, dependent on themselves to be able to produce this footwear or whatever it may be, on their own, and actually make it a worthwhile situation. So I really don't know. I'm indifferent about the situation. I don't know if I'll say it's a good one or not, but hopefully we hope that it turns out to be good. Well, moving forward, thank you on this, Mufasa. Let's move forward.
Well, let me just quickly say something.
Okay.
The usual rhetoric is when you are giving these skills training, what they give to you is starters pack. And that starters pack, most of these people, they use it to go and settle their problems. Like we've rightly established, when you train, make sure that you have everything in place.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Make sure you have everything in place. Patronage of Nigerian-made products is born out of the inability of governments to make our own products be an envy of the people who even live outside this country. Now, let me tell you, don't we get substandard products from even China and, Taiwan and some of these places where we get most of our products from? We equally bring in substandard products into this country. There was a time in this country where it was mandated, I think it was during the tenure of former President Muhammadu Buhari, that the Nigerian military must patronize made in Aba boots. And these boots were made with quality materials. The only way that we can have that kind of scenario in place is if our Standard Organization of Nigeria, because we have agencies that are meant to regulate some of these products and what comes out of it. So we can make our own a envy of the global community. If we have that sincerity of purpose and intention, let us see how we, put some of these things in place, ensure that power, for instance, is made available for producers, for people who are into manufacturing. Okay, if you want to go into manufacturing, for instance, you must first of all consider a diesel powered plant. You maintain it. Then talking about even some of the materials that you use for manufacturing some of these things. Not that we can't have it here, we can't source it in Nigeria here, but we go as far as importing some of these things. So how well do you think this meager amount they are giving to them will be able to sustain them in the business to become established producers of footwear? So for me, conclusively, I think it's not enough for government or government agencies or ministries, parasites of government to say, oh, we are giving us so and so for artisans. People want to make footwears. People want to produce plastic. People who are into textiles. Okay, look at textiles. There was a time Nigeria was a big producer and exporter of textile materials. But what we have today is a complete far cry. So the government should be serious about it. Ensure that those necessary things, those factors that are needed to be put in place to make ease of business paramount. If they don't do that, whatever they are doing today is like, you know, moving around in circles. Because I know personally that these things are just for the optics and also to mesmerize members of the public. If there is sincerity of purpose and intention, the first thing you need to do is ensure that we have power, and you ensure that some of these materials needed for this industry to strive are put in place. It's a shame, you know, what they call is a chain of business. You understand me? It's a chain of business where this one rely on this one rely on this one. Before you know that circle grows. Just like what we have in the oil industry. Crude has different byproducts. If we are refining our oil in Nigeria, we have a lot of other activities that will still come out from that refining activity. That is what this particular sector is. So let us add seriousness in some of these things we do so that people will begin to take them seriously.